Welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast counting down everything this week that made you say, what a time to be alive. And now, Patrick Monahan, Kath Barbadoro, and Eli Uden.
Folks, welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast that counts down the things this week to make you say a thing. That's the title of the podcast. I'm Patrick Monahan.
I'm Kath Barbadoro.
I'm Eli Uden. Hello.
Patty cutting it close with a snack today.
Yep, that's right.
Right?
What if I just had like a big sandwich and I took a huge bite right as the music started, and I was like, I'll be fine. I'll finish it before I have to say something.
One time, so for Master Pancake, those happen like around dinner, and we usually get we get free food at the Alamo while we're doing those shows.
Family meal, like at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, exactly. And there was one time John, the main guy, he's like the one who casts it and organizes it and everything. There was one time where he was like, Kath, you have to stop eating while we're doing the show. People can hear that you're chewing while we're doing the show. You have to time it better.
There's some sort of pig on screen? What is this chewing I hear? Yeah.
Really,
no, you get shift meal
he
at
was
Alamo,
very nice about it, but I was like, you can make fun of me for this. It's very funny.
Just being like...
Yeah.
I'm like throwing something up in the air and catching it while you're talking. Yeah, what else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel you. What do you got? You said you got a dip?
Buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got some dips going. Martin Short in Only Murders mode. He's very dip focused. I believe he only eats dips. That's from season 1. I don't know if that's still the case. I can't remember if dips have come up since then.
The dip diet.
That's some parents watching right there.
Only Murders in the Building.
It's fun. It's a good show. It's a nice good hang.
It's probably fun when I don't have to look at my dad looking at Selena Gomez. That's probably fun.
That does present a problem.
Parsing that, so
I guess.
Yeah, no. So you get shift meal at Alamo. They bring out it's like the Bearer restaurant. They bring out a big bowl of popcorn and set it down. Everyone goes to town.
Yeah, a trough. They have actually a special trough that's the size of the long table bench thing that they have, full of popcorn. Everybody sits and eats.
For some reason, it's actually just it's like penne with grilled chicken diced up in it and tomato sauce, which they don't serve at Alamo, but they make that for a family meal.
That's the family meal. Yeah, they go off book. I've recently I don't know. I guess because I did so many shows there, I stopped thinking it was weird because I ate there so much. I've reversed my position on that. I think it's weird to eat real food while you watch a movie. I think it's strange.
Yeah. It's never I don't know. It's better in your head for sure than it is in practice. I'm definitely, once I'm eating it, I'm like, oh, it's just weird to be eating even chicken tenders. It's just I should just eat popcorn. That's part of it anyways. I'm
gonna take the counter position here. I think it rocks. I love it. I love getting a little milkshake and maybe some kind of drink, and also a little pizza that's you make it angry, and they make it they put way too many hot pepper flakes on it, and it is insane.
And the good thing is you can't see how many pepper flakes are on it because you're eating at a movie theater. So every bite is
I keep getting it. I'll keep drinking that garbage, but it is no, and I'm not a baby. It is just very spicy. There's a lot of
classic
hot pepper
defense.
Flakes on there.
I am not a baby.
I am not a baby.
I'll make it very clear.
I will also say though, a pizza though, because you can get a pizza, it's not good, but you can get a pizza at a regular movie theater. So that's kind of like movie theater cleared.
Yeah, and the ones at the draft house are
I just love to spend $90.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really the core of this. It just feels great to spend $90.
Yeah. I mean, getting it for free was when I was doing that show when I was younger and I didn't have money, I would just grocery shop that menu. I would just get 3 meals worth of food and then be like, to go box.
We get a stick of butter, refrigerated, please.
This is important for me to perform on the show. Can I get 3 of the Chinese food containers of Sour Patch Kids, please?
Yeah.
I think
the nice thing about it is because it's like that, you can go to movies at dinner time and it's not disruptive to your eating schedule, which that I do like. Because if I'm going to a 6 p.m. movie, that is going to present an inconvenience for me. Or a 7:15. What am I supposed to do with myself? I'm going to be dying in there.
I also will say like that made me think. I think it is like a genuine problem with our culture that spending $90, well, not 90 is a lot, but like does feel good. I've been thinking about this. So like trying to like that's like my New Year's resolution. One of them is to like stop consuming something as a. It's like a guilt. Like there are literally like consumption versions of like guilt meal where instead of like eating Ben and Jerry's at 1 a.m., I order a $30 hat at 1 a.m. and it just feels nice. And I'm like, this is so bad.
I want to be clear. I don't love spending $90. That's not like that is not the enjoyable part of it. But yes, there is a very easy psychological trick you can kind of play on yourself.
I was thinking about this this week because I'm going to plug my friend's book. My friend wrote a book called American Bulk, Emily Mester, and it's very good. And I read it and I did her like book release. And it's all about like how we like to buy and accumulate things and like what that sort of like does for us psychologically. And it made me think about how like everything I like to do involves spending $40. Like my favorite thing to do is just spend $40. That's my main. Reducing all of my interests down, it just comes down to that. It's some way to spend $40.
There's those tweets like that it's like go on a walk without spending $30 challenge, like or whatever. You know, you just
tough to do.
You're like, oh, a biscotti would certainly help this little walk, and then all of a sudden you're like, why is my bank account empty?
Your thing is hats. My thing is cool exercise shorts. That's like my big weakness.
Just going on a walk, and mid-walk, you get a Rucking Fountain drop email. Your walk is happening at midnight, so you get a T-shirt of a movie you like, but it's got Japanese on it. That is, and that's going to be $34.99 or whatever it is.
Absolutely, plus shipping. So cool. You know it.
Those are so cool, but I can't wear those because I already have too many weeb traits. Like I can't, you can only wear those. You can only wear like the Japanese movie T-shirts if it's like very plausible. Or likely that you don't know Japanese. Like if it looks like you might know Japanese, you can't because people are just like, like, oh, well, this guy's going to go off. He's got a damn body pillow or something. You got to keep it under control. I've also banned myself from buying hats and successfully for like a while now because it was becoming a problem. The hat acquisition,
Yeah, it's interesting to figure out what like men spend money on with this shit because like so much of it for me is just Sephora. Like I feel like if I didn't buy makeup and stuff, I would have like so much more money to spend on other bullshit, and I don't know what it would be. But
you know what it is for guys? It's t-shirts. T-shirts are at Sephora. Yeah. T-shirt. I have like more. Like my laundry, if you like plotted out how long I can, dress myself on one load of laundry. Like the timeline for t-shirts is I could go like half a year, but it's like I'm only constrained by underwear and socks. T-shirts alone, I could go.
It's interesting to figure out what the limiting factor in your wardrobe is. I feel like socks is for sure mine.
Yeah. Like a male walk-in closet. Like, I mean, of course there's guys, that have like nice stuff and all that, but like it would be like just t-shirts, like each individually hung, like you're walking through what band, what movie, which Die Hard shirt should I throw on today? It's a problem, I'll try not. I have a voice now and I respect it because I have a voice in my head that's literally like just my mom when I was like 14 or 13 or whatever, being like, if I want a hat or a shirt, it's like, do you have a shirt that looks like that already? And it's shocking the amount of times I'm like, I own this shirt. I already own this shirt. Like, it's just like, you don't need this, but what can you do? Also, I'll throw it in quick. Speaking of plugs,
speaking of big January, money.
Big January for me. Yeah, you want to spend a small amount of money and feel good. Both Sick Ass Panther is back at Red Baron Inc. That is going to be on Saturday, January 11th, and my special taping on January 24th. And hey, I know you don't want to buy 2 tickets for January. That's too many tickets for a month. So if you buy a ticket to either the special or the Sick Ass Panther, just let me know, and I'll give you a free ticket to the other one. You get to go to both. You get to see me all month.
So many deals.
Don't make it weird, though.
I'm seeing double. 4 Elis.
4 Elis. Yes. That could be you. You could be uttering that very line.
Who's who else is on your special? Who's MC in that
to be determined.
TBD.
To be determined.
A surprise guest.
Everyone, start competing. Start showing your loyalty to me.
Send your tapes to Eli.
Bring me gifts. Bring me offerings to be considered No, I'm not sure, but I think I might not have an opener because I've gone to a lot of them and they always have openers and like I always love the person opening or whatever, but it's always like,
Does this?
I don't know. It's just like 10 to 15 minutes of the kind of thing where everyone's like waiting.
Gotta warm up the audience a little bit.
Yeah, but I figure the host just does a set and does that.
I guess that's what I meant is who is hosting it. I don't think I agree. I don't think you need like someone doing 20 or something, but you can't just walk on the stage.
It throws like the planning and stuff into like, because I feel like you can just run through it without an opener, but an opener it's like, well, now there's more people need to pee now, and it like a lot of times when I've seen it, it seems like it's introduced more kind of like housekeeping than it's solved. So that's comedy business talk. Comedy business talk. Hey, don't do a special. It costs a lot of money. That's my comedy business talk for you. See.
That's right, Shelby.
Yeah. Hit those 3 notes. Slam them out.
We decided not to do the Springsteen story. I wonder if Shelby was just really prepped for us to do the.
Oh,
we had a.
He got what he wanted.
I've seen it. Yeah.
We got what we wanted. A cease and desist notice from Bruce Springsteen himself, signed with his trademark signature.
We can sell it and pay for the lawsuit that he's inevitably bringing against us. So that's nice.
Yeah. He's going to come up. Do you think Bruce Springsteen shows up to court in like a half unbuttoned black denim shirt looking
Canadian tuxedo?
He slides into the courtroom on his knees, does a power slide all the way up to the bench, desk. What do you call what the people, plaintiff and defendant, sit behind? Patty, you're a lawyer. What are those called? Defense table?
The slab. They call it the slab.
The plinth.
Slab. I think that's literally where the term bar comes from, is from that. Like when you say passing the bar, it's like you're allowed to go past that little thing because you're doing the law.
If you don't, if you haven't, you're not allowed. They yell at you.
That's the little saloon door guy. I think maybe
that's the bar, the saloon door.
I don't know. They didn't teach us.
They should make it a saloon door. Yeah, they should make it Wild West style.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I would.
I don't know. I think they should also bring it back to.
They should have drinks. There should be. You should be able to get a sarsaparilla.
It should be like a casino, free drinks.
Mm-hmm. The judges should stop yelling at people who scream in the crowd. There should be a balcony. It should be full peanut gallery. People should be yelling and jeering.
I feel like that's how it is in like old movies. Like when I imagine like the Scopes trial or whatever, there's definitely a balcony of people yelling.
Monkey ain't no man. Yeah, that should be part of it.
That should still be. I mean, maybe it could be. It's just we don't go. We got to start this.
We need to put that monkey on trial. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you
I think they
talking
could
about?
I do think they could have a little more compassion in most Law and Order episodes because it's usually like a mother who's like, my child is dead. And the judge is like, lady, come on, please. And it's like, she's going through
Settle
quite a bit.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
You shut up.
And then they're always there. Stabler and Benson are always in there. They're always watching. Don't you have more cases?
Yeah, that was like a thing I liked about The Wire is like when McNulty would be in court, everyone would be like, why are you here? Don't you have other stuff to do? This isn't your job. You're not testifying. Why are you here? It's very funny to me. It's like
they need the reaction shots so that when the defense lawyer defending the person who definitely did it is like, jury, but isn't he kind of an okay guy? And then the jury nods, and then you see Benson or Stabler be like, oh, this shit's going south, dude. It's going sour. We're losing. I get so mad when they lose in Law and Order. I think it's good that they don't always win, but man, I'm pissed off.
Wasted my 43 minutes. What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's very punitive.
You kind of know. Yeah, you kind of know when it's going to happen too, because it's always when it's a case that's like about like a rich, and then they want to drive that message home.
Teaching us a lesson. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sick
Good
of
stuff. Yeah. Good shows.
Should we do numbers? The numbers time?
Yes.
Good show.
Good. Number 5.
Is Bruce Springsteen here? Is he fighting you for the soundboard?
But we're just putting him on the bonus.
He's at Shelby's.
Yeah.
He's the one who keeps doing that. Shelby's like trying to stop him, but he keeps hitting it.
Yeah, live
Shelby's actually the producer on the Springsteen Obama podcast. People don't know that. Mm-hmm. They just cut out all the drops. He's doing the drops, but they cut them out.
Shelby's real name is E Street Band. He just goes by Shelby. Number 5.
Is number 5 me? Sorry. No, it's
Oh,
Eli.
no, it's me.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Whoa, put it on the podcast blooper reel, folks.
Yeah. Number 5 this week comes to us from Bookmark19 in the Discord. And this is a story from AP about really burying the lead here in the headline. They say, a fugitive gains fame in New Orleans, but the fugitive in question, is a dog. What? Yes. Yep, both. We're getting a combination of dogs. Did you get an Iggy clip? Has Iggy been imprisoned? Part of her soul is on the soundboard now.
I can't remember if either of those are your actual dogs. I'm very proud that we have an actual Zelda.
I think that's Liza.
Liza's in one of them.
That's Liza?
I think that might be.
And that's Zelda.
That might be Iggy. No, that's too low for Iggy.
I just want to say fugitive dog. I just want to say ridden rill rife. Like Scooby-Doo.
That was too. Yeah, but there are too many R's. What was the phrase? It was like Pig Latin. It was like
I didn't kill my wife.
I didn't kill my wife.
Okay. He didn't. He has no wife. So yeah, this is in New Orleans. It is a dog named Scrim. I guess short for scrimmage. Who knows?
That's a dog. That's a dog that was named to be a scamp stray, sort of artful dodger type situation.
I feel like that's like the dog that lives on a Navy boat in like World War II is named Scrim.
Yeah.
He's like the beloved companion, and he somehow makes it onto the beach at Normandy and up the cliffs. Like he survived.
Yeah. They put one of those blankets on him.
He bit Hitler's nuts.
They make him a sergeant.
He bit Hitler's nuts for sure.
It was like, like in Beethoven, when Beethoven bites the evil vet, it's like that, but with Hitler. And it's Scrim doing
evil
it.
vet.
I watched The Heartbreak Kid the other day. Have you guys seen that movie? It's fucking awesome. It's so good. But Charles Grodin is like incredible in it. He's so good. And I was just like, where have I seen this guy before? And then I remembered he's the dad in all the Beethovens. He's getting his nuts bit by Beethoven.
There's Beethoven.
And also giving like the comedic performance of a fucking generation in The Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah. He was also the host of the driest CNBC talk show ever.
Yeah.
These things go down. Okay. Grodin is a classic guy. Like he's obviously legend.
What? Another classic guy. The mischievous dog, Scrim. There's a picture of Scrim here. Absolutely is exactly what you'd expect. A little scruffy little fella. You can, if you imagine a scamp, it looks very much like what Scrim looks like. It's
He's
a
a rascal
17-pound
for
dog.
sure.
Yeah, mostly terrier, very rascally breed. And so this is his second escape. They say he was rescued from semi-feral life, which is my favorite Third Eye Blind song, at a trailer park and adopted from a shelter. And then in April, he already broke loose. And
that is one thing that I remember from living in the South. I guess it's a weather thing, but New York has a lot of things that are very sort of quintessentially urban. A lot of cities in America have roving packs of dogs, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Detroit?
Yeah, a lot of them in Detroit.
Detroit. Well, they're stray dogs. That's well, can you consider them strays? Because they do own a building now. They do occupy.
They have territory.
Yeah.
And an organization.
Scrappers are well, we can't get copper wire out of that building because it's owned by a pack of dogs, and they will attack us. They love the copper. They love to chew it.
Tasty.
But yeah, so Scrim got out in April, and he was free at that point until October, which I don't know, man. I think he's meant to be. That's his life. Yeah, you spayed or neutered him. He's not making more. He clearly can. Habitate pretty effectively, but so he's
eating gumbo out of the trash. He's doing fine.
Yeah,
feasting on andouille sausage.
That trash gumbo, he got
trash
diarrhea.
Is somewhat a form of gumbo in a way.
Yeah,
it is like a large gumbo.
Make it into a can is a pot. It all tracks. you stir your trash before you put it out. If you're good to your garbage men, you got to make sure to stir it up.
You make a nice roux out of that garbage juice at the bottom.
Yeah,
thicken it up.
Flour in there. So yeah, he ran around until they got him again in October, and in October they brought him to a new home, which he's gonna get out. Like you got a flight risk. Adopting that dog. Or they just didn't mention that, where they were like, he's a bit of an escape artist, and then didn't mention like 4 months at a time. So they brought him to the new house, and this is he jumped out of a second-story window. He is fine, very much so don't worry. And has basically not. I mean, there's been a stream of quote daily sightings, but he has not been captured since. They have like a
crowdsourced Google map of sightings where people are like reporting, and there's tons of them. Like people see him all over, but they can't get him. They can't get him.
Yeah. And this is, so the person who had adopted Scrim, Michelle Cherami, she adopted him, and it looks like she launched a shelter. So I guess that's who it fell to. She's like, I run the shelter. If anyone can contain this dog, it should be me. And so Scrim jumped out of her window in November. They've been looking since. Like you said, they've got social media updates. They're tracking him. I mean, at this point, put a tracker in him, to get the deluxe microchip with the GPS.
Cover an apple like AirTag in peanut butter and let him go to town. You're fine.
Yeah, track them by that intestinal blockage. So she's going crazy on this. It says she's invested thousands of dollars on wildlife cameras, thermal sensors, and other gear. She took a course offered by the San Diego Zoo on how to tranquilize animals. So they're going Splinter Cell on this fucking dog.
I feel like if you teach a class about how to tranquilize animals, you have to have like a pretty extensive, so what brings you here?
Right. Yeah.
Now, you're not going to be multiplying the doses or anything, right? To tranquilize anything larger than the animals we're talking about here, like some kind of intended victim. Okay.
You haven't perhaps cased a joint lately and need to
now,
sedate a guard dog, perhaps?
On the form here, it says your dog is 195 pounds and stands upright.
6'3". That's a pretty long for a dog.
Not how we measure dog height, but okay.
They're going around. This is fun. This is the Scrim supremacy. Scrim is on a rooftop with a rifle. This is, they're trying to track him. Scrim jumped out the window, went straight to the safety deposit box, got his go bag. He got his fake passport. They've been trying to track him down. They've had like 3 a.m. grid searches for Scrim.
I just sent you guys a picture of the Scrim tracker. This dog is he's not in hiding. He's just not getting caught. He's fully around.
He just knows. I think he's just learned what corners are, and now there's no way to stop him.
He's a real local. He's staying out of the quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look he's staying downriver, I believe, from or maybe upriver from there. I can't remember which direction. New Orleans is weird, but not in the tourist spots. Staying in where the locals hang out.
Let me tell you, if a dog figures out what a dead end or a corner is and then learns to avoid it, you're done for. It'd be like if zombies learned how to use doorknobs. It's just over. It's over for you. Even when I was home for Thanksgiving, the ground floor of our house is like a circle, and I was done for, man. I had to call on help. I had to be like, Mom, you got to block off this one doorway so that we can close in on Iggy, because she can go under tables and I can't, at least not quickly.
For a second, you did. I thought you were having trouble not having corners.
Yeah, I was
in your house.
I was having trouble
safe.
echolocating.
I don't feel safe.
Where does it end? I need the end.
Yeah.
I need to be at a right angle with the walls, please.
Yeah.
Can't do this.
So she says, literally, and this is a neighbor who, she's been on the Scrim hunt. She's been brought in. She's the ringer. the trigger man, but for a net gun trigger man. She says, for months I've done nothing but hunt this dog. And she says, I feel like Wile E. Coyote on a daily basis with him, which I guess is accurate, but also not who you want to summon in this. Like, you're like,
She keeps getting blown up by rockets that she's riding on.
I keep
Painting
running
landscapes in front of walls. She's running into them.
You would not believe how many tunnels I've thought there were. Okay. So yeah. And then they have a van, the rescue van, and she takes off in the van towards reported scrim sightings with a tactical net launcher. And one time she misfired the net launcher and broke the van window as the dog ran away. Dude, this is
good for her for admitting that to the news. I would not be telling people that. Good for her.
Yeah, she's all in on this, and there's some details about her life, and it's kind of seems like maybe she needed something at this moment. But yeah, so apparently they've also realized now that Scrim knows the sound of, they say, come to recognize the sound of the van's diesel engine. I don't think that's accurate. I think Scrim probably just knows what a car sounds like. And so she's switched to a Vespa scooter for stealth, which not the stealthiest like vehicle anyways. Yeah, so they've almost got it a couple times, near misses. At one point they found Scrim napping beneath an elevated house with wrapped construction netting around the perimeter. And here's the fatal mistake. An overeager volunteer broke ranks and dashed forward, leaving an opening Scrim slipped through. You gotta keep it's like the goddamn, what is it, Tortuga formation or whatever. Testudo formation. You know, you have to, one gap in the shield and a spear can slip through. You all have to do your part, you know? You have to fill your gaps, fill your run gaps against Scrim the dog. And so, yeah. So there's other.
Gotta get your damn team on a leash.
Yeah.
This dog just lives outside. He's fine. You don't need to. He's all right.
He's okay.
If you happen across him, maybe, you can try to grab him, but it sounds
say
like he's
what's
doing
up.
Okay. Free him.
Give him a nod. They say that there's people on your side, and I think I'm sort of on that side as well. The team dreams of placing the pooch in a safe and loving environment, but a social media chorus growing under the hashtag Free Scrim. They say the runaway should be allowed a life of self-determination. And then she says the streets of New Orleans are not the place for a dog to be free. It's too dangerous. Yeah, in theory, but for Scrim specifically, he seems to be.
I feel like if they spot him and he looks like he's not doing good, then because it's not like you can still check and see whether he's doing well because he is being spotted every day. So like if he starts to look bad, haul him in. But otherwise, seems like he's doing all right.
This is like very sad, but not very, very sad. So at one point when they captured him in October after his first months-long breakout, he was in bad shape, and a vet says they decided against operating to take out a possible bullet. So it's like, what is Scrim up to, dude? It's like literal Jason Bourne. Like Scrim's a damn black dove, dude. He's out there. He's collecting information. What do we got here? Patty sent a picture of the chat of Scrim.
There is a picture of Scrim from, it looks like a security camera or something.
Drone.
This is the dog that is not going to be caught. He's got he's got a playful face, and he's fully like front
paws
half
splayed.
Yeah, front paws spread apart, front part of the body lower, just like very, as Eli said, stanced up. Like if your dog is doing this, your dog is up to something bad for sure.
Yeah. Full lateral movement. It's the thing where it's like, this dog thinks it's playing, and that means you are never going to catch it because it's just enjoying this.
Right. I'm loving this.
Yeah, he's having a great time. He's like, you'll never take me alive. This is it.
This is the dog. It's the dog equivalent of like when they upload a picture of a guy wearing like a low baseball cap from an airport, and you're like, they're gone. Like they got through security at the airport. They're somewhere without extradition. They're long gone. That's where it'll end up, somewhere without a extradition treaty. So yeah, and this is like a thing. Okay, so this and then, but devastated but undeterred. So they've been trying to figure out where he might fit best, and they say maybe a secure animal sanctuary with big outdoor spaces. Like, what are we doing at that point? You know?
Don't you have other stray dogs who like probably want to be inside? I bet some of them want to be inside. Just not this one.
It's like, we're going to put him in the zoo. He'll like it in the zoo. It's like, I think you just look, dude's took a bullet. He's lived through a lot. I think he's earned his right to be the official dog of New Orleans. I just hope he starts showing up at like, you got to see Scrim like interrupt a Saints game. That would be the best. Out on there's a Saints game this weekend. Let's all pray for Scrim to just
get him out there.
Yeah, put him out
Scrim.
there. Dude, he can juke anybody, break ankles.
It's like when a little kitty cat runs around a baseball field. Love that.
Oh yeah,
hate that for the
That's
cat.
Great.
Cat is upset. Never a good time for the cat, but
it's
pretty funny, pretty good.
Yeah. Announcers always understand the assignment too. They're like, we're going to start calling this as if the cat's a football player. It's like, yeah, exactly. Yes, you are going to tell us what yard line the cat is on.
Yep.
And they always end up in the end zone. Never go out of bounds.
Nope.
Yeah, very, very smart cats.
Should we do number 4?
Yeah, let's do number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4 comes to us from Patty. You're scaring the hose in the Discord. I'm not sure.
Rude name.
I'm not sure what I've done to scare the hose, but fair enough, I guess.
Once you're married, you're allowed to scare the hose. That's part of the benefits.
I just feel like you're out of the hose. Aren't scared. If you're married, there's like nothing you can do to scare the hose because they're like his actions have no bearing on me. As one of those.
I don't know. Yeah,
I feel scaring the hose is a phrase used. It's never used in like, oh, you're actually scaring. It's more like, hey, stop talking about, Japanese movie T-shirts or something. That's like which
That's true. If any of the hoes out there are frightened by discussing Japanese T-shirts, I'd like to apologize for scaring them earlier.
I've discussed war elephants at a bar. That's a scaring the hose moment for sure. They're like, hey, stop talking about war elephants. Nobody cares if they were effective or not. Just leave it alone.
They were though, right? They were effective.
They were crazy effective.
Super
Nobody knew
effective.
What to do.
Yeah.
They were basically, you lost. People would see them and give up until guns. And then they were like, okay, we can finally do
the
something
nukes
about
of
this.
the ancient world. You see those, you turn around.
Even the people who were on top of them, they just had like a switch that was a sword that they just were like, if the elephant freaks out, you just got to kill it because otherwise we all lose. Otherwise both sides lose.
Yeah. It is like a nuke that can also get mad, which is not good. Not what you want.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably gone into this. Yeah.
We're scared.
I just want to say, the thing in movies where they pick people up and bite them, where they pick them up and bite someone in half, they did that for real. I thought that was a movie thing, but they were like, no, they would do that. Crazy. Anyways. I've scared the host.
Number 4. Number 4 is from Italy. A bus driver was fired for performing in a wine bar while on sick leave for anxiety. So he was on sick leave for having anxiety, and he was caught performing in a piano. I think he was singing and playing piano in a wine bar during work time off, and he was having panic attacks, I guess. He was playing this.
He was doing the talented Mr. Ripley. He was singing the song they sing in that.
And, his company hired private detectives to follow him, basically, and to monitor him. And they found him.
That's going to help his anxiety for sure.
Well, it's also going to help.
I'm being followed.
It's going to help their case too. Definitely easy to defend this as a company. Yeah, we think he's wasting our time on sick leave, so we hired private detectives during his time off to follow him and catch him. So they fired him as a result of that, and then he challenged it. Went to court, challenged the dismissal, and it reached the Italian Supreme Court, and they held that this is while on sick leave, it's permissible. It occurred outside mandatory at-home hours for medical inspections, you can't ski while you're supposed to have the flu or play a sport when you're supposed to have a broken leg, but a wine bar under stress is somehow different.
I feel like in Italy, they get that. You're stressed out, you go drink some wine.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I agree. If he's anxiety, then it's like, he's like, oh, you said you were anxious, but instead you were playing gentle music. It's like, no, that's...
Okay.
I also feel like the defense here is basically that, I think it was a Felix tweet about how, like, posting and texting are different energies.
Yeah.
Like he's using a different. The wine bar energy is different than the bus driving energy.
Right.
So you can't.
Oh yeah.
So this is huge.
They don't have to put up signs that are like, if you assault the piano player, it's an 8-year sentence or whatever. Like, it's a lot less stressful than bus driving.
So apparently there is and this is he worked for a big, I think he worked for like basically city buses, like Cotral is the name of the company. Yeah. And they seem to run their whole deal. But apparently absenteeism is like a big deal in the metro system in Italy. The municipal transport at this company, 18% of staff are thought to be absent at any given time. That's a lot.
Damn.
That's a high number.
Almost 1 in 5. That's crazy.
There's this story going through here. They capture a couple of other examples. One was another Roman bus driver, Ezio Capri, initially cleared after being caught crooning to Franco Califano tunes in nightclubs while off work with abdominal cramps. So that's maybe a little bit. I love
that they're all moonlighting.
They all
as
want to be
singers.
singers, yeah. But then
he was crooners.
He was later fired for an unrelated theft at a municipal car park. Sorry, that's good for my abdominal cramps. Is breaking into cars.
I was stealing some Tums. What do you want? I saw Tums through the window.
Then there was another guy who, in San Remo, a police officer. Won back his job after being filmed clocking into work in just his underwear before returning home to dress. I guess he didn't have time to get in his uniform or something.
Gotta clock in on time.
I gotta get in.
Gotta demerit. You watch out. Trader Joe's rules.
He got his job back, and then there was also a lady who, let's see here, a teacher who was rightfully sacked after, this is a British article, avoiding work for 20 years of her 24-year career. That's pretty good.
We did a story about, I think, a Spanish guy who did that. He was like some bureaucrat who never went to work.
Yeah, this is a fruitful well for us.
Yeah, so this guy is, I guess he's going to get back on the job, and he's allowed to do this. And I say, that's fine. Who cares? What's he supposed to be doing during his time off with anxiety? Like sitting on the couch freaking out, I guess. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
really know.
what's great for anxiety? Staying in your house all the time.
Right.
Very good for a nervous brain.
Like exaggeratedly biting your nails and having the pieces fly off, like Sylvester the cat or something. That's what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of those, when I don't know if Slack does it, but sometimes messaging apps will like tell people what apps you're running. I'm thinking of like Discord, but it's like, one of those things. It's like I'm anxiety, but then I'm afraid that it's going to say like Eli's playing, a game, and I'm like, yeah, but that's fine. They're doing that because I'm stressed out. They should be able to do something that calms them. If you're giving somebody time off for stress, I feel like you've given up your right. You don't get to decide.
Yeah,
how
whatever they do is kind of allowed. I guess unless they're like going to, I don't know, are they disarming bombs on their time off?
Yeah.
Jumping out of planes, maybe not.
This is the only thing that relaxes me is disarming a bomb.
I can sort of see the bungee jumping shit though, like maybe helping, because it's like at least that gives your anxiety like a place to go that like makes sense. It's like how a lot of people who deal with this like actually felt kind of okay during COVID because they were like, well, now like this is purposeful. Like I get why I feel like this and it's not totally misplaced. So like I feel like even bungee jumping you could kind of defend.
Yeah, just let it boil over, sort of. That's the strat. Also, this isn't here, neither here nor there, but it's kind of weird for an Italian guy to be named Franco, isn't it? I feel like that'd be like if my name was like Mexico.
Franco was the Spanish dictator.
Well, my point stands. His name should be Italo or nothing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Don't give another country credit in your name when you're Italian. Change it.
The Frank. I feel like that happens a lot where somebody's last name in another country will be like a different. I guess it's because like several hundred years ago, someone they were related to was like the one French guy in the town.
Yeah.
So then they got that last name.
I sometimes think about with like Brooklyn being such a popular name now. Like if you're named Brooklyn, you can never move to Brooklyn, right? Like
I think it's weird. I'm sure people have done it.
And I'm not sure if I've ever met anyone named Brooklyn here in Brooklyn.
America Ferrera would like a word.
Oh, yeah.
I knew a lot of Austins in Austin. I actually know I have a relative whose name was Americo, and it was because he was the first one born.
Vespucci.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kath can trace her heritage.
Yes. That's who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
come
he's
from
alive.
a long line of map makers.
He's alive at the same time as well. Kath is ageless. You would not know how old Kath is. Hundreds of years.
Yeah. I look good
yes.
for my age. We called
the
him
painting,
Rico.
though, of you looks terrible. The painting in your attic looks horrible.
Looks like shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. If you give somebody time off for stress, it's like, I don't think you get to pick and choose. It's like a mental health day. Mental health day should be whatever makes mental health better,
Right. Yeah. No, that just means you're fucking off from work. So
Yeah.
if you give people time off for anxiety is real, but you can do whatever you want to treat it, and it's allowed.
Yeah. Like, is it frustrating if you give someone time off for mental health and then they're like play pickup soccer during that time? Probably, but that's calming.
Look, I gotta rob
People
this.
like
I gotta
soccer.
rob this bank. This is how I relax.
It's therapy
Gotta
for
perform
me.
a jewel heist. I have to run around the city of New Orleans for months at a time while being chased with net guns in a
Well,
van.
now there we go.
Hey, if you're enjoying the regular episode, why not check out this week's bonus episode where we answer mailbag questions and it leads to a reflection on what this podcast has been for all of us over the last 7 or so years. It's very nice.
We also talk about the worst, or maybe some of us don't really follow the prompt, and funniest concerts that we attended.
And we talk about what floats we'd like to add back to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In addition to bonus episodes, you can also subscribe to our Patreon for ad-free versions of the main episodes, like the one you're listening to right now. So go sign up, patreon.com/whatatimepod.
Number 3?
Let's do
Number
it.
3.
Number 3.
Number 3 comes to us from The Average Gatsby in the Discord. This is a story every once in a while we like to go check up on what monkeys are doing. Feel like it's we just got to see what they're up to. We got to keep an eye on them,
Everyone should be, yeah.
You can't let them work
if
in
any-
the shadows.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
need some transparency there, because like if any animal is going to kind of take over, it's going to be them from us.
Yeah.
Right?
We should do, honestly, like once a year, they should grab a monkey and have it do a battery of tests just to see where they're at,
Yeah.
What they know how to do so far.
What they're up to. That one sounds stressed out.
Yeah.
This story is it's from Lopburi, Thailand, which I guess is a it's a one of the temples, like one of those big old temples is there, so it's kind of a tourist spot. And tons of monkeys hanging out in that town, but they're getting aggressive, as they often are. It's become a problem. It's like apparently hurt the tourist industry a little bit, because like people are getting like bitten by these guys. Like they are aggressive. And the reason we're talking about this is because of so there's like a municipal sort of movement to get these guys moved out of the town. So people want them like caught and re-released somewhere farther away from urban areas. And there are banners all over the place that are like, please catch and remove these monkeys. And the monkeys are tearing them down. So they are not having any of it. They are destroying the anti-monkey propaganda. It's complicated though, because like on the one hand, the fact that they're so aggressive is like negatively impacting tourism, but the fact that they were all there in the first place is part of why people would go visit. Because it's like fucking cool to see an ancient temple full of monkeys. Like that's awesome. We went to a couple of those in India, and it was fucking so cool. It was, like being in Tomb Raider or something. It was awesome.
Yeah, it definitely has a bit of the like have your cake and eat it too thing here, where it's
Right.
like, look, and it also says here, I think what they did is they failed to, if you want to coexist here, you got to create some boundaries for the monkeys. And I'm reading here that they put on a monkey buffet every November.
Yeah,
which is
that's gonna cause
stirring,
some problems.
discord in the ranks. They put out a banquet of fruit. And it's like, okay, well, they think that they're your god now. They assume there's some sort of divine. They're going to test the boundaries. They're going to
Right.
bite a couple people.
They're gonna start demanding like a tax, a fruit tax. You're definitely
Also-
encouraging them.
putting up a sign that's like, "Hey, everybody, if you could, please catch and release a monkey somewhere else." That is a big ask.
Yeah,
I think we're trying to get the
monkeys-
city to do it, not
okay.
like vigilante monkey apprehension. Although
see.
maybe, I don't know.
A monkey's
If you
like
can.
like a little guy. You're not going to just be able to grab up a little. Like he's like a little man
Yeah.
running around. That's no. You get scary. They can
Yeah,
bite you.
It reminds me of,
the best you can do is sort of chase them away, and even then you have to be like kind of brave about it. Like I remember that I know I've talked about this before. It's come up when I was in India. There were monkeys that would hang out on the roof of the building we went to school in, and like that the roof was like a place where we could hang out, and they would go up there, and we'd have to get like there was a dude who worked there who was like the designated monkey scarer, and he would go up there with like a chair and this stick that was used. It was like a Tamil martial arts. It's called Silambam. It's like this big wooden stick, and he would just like matador the monkeys away while everyone else like huddled in the corner and screamed because it was so scary. So
He had
like
to scare the monkeys away. He'd head up there with a copy of The Ring, show it
Yeah.
to the monkeys. Be
they probably wouldn't like it. I feel like they're smart enough to know that's scary. They have enough brain power.
Are monkeys smart enough to watch The Ring and be scared by it? There's an experiment to get on top of.
Scientists have been trying to figure it out, but they can't. The monkeys just keep destroying the television.
Yeah, which kind of does suggest they understand The Ring. They're like, well, this
Yeah.
is part of the problem.
We can't watch this.
Yeah, they understand The Ring, but not enough to know that it's a fictional story. They think that the videotape is real. But the Catch the Monkey sign reminds me. I think it's a bit by I believe Max Fine that's good about walking around seeing a sign on like a lamppost for a lost bird, and it's just like they're gone. Nobody is
Try to sky.
catching your bird.
It can move in an entirely separate dimension than we can.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone. You're not catching
Yeah.
that.
I feel like I've talked or written about that before. It's like birds get because it's just like all they ever have to do is go above about 7 feet, and they're done.
They're home free.
You know, you're swimming, you're drowning. No chance. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like the reason they got initially got aggressive is because the tourism stopped during COVID or like went way down, and so they weren't getting fed as much, and then that radicalized them, and
it's
now
like,
they're
hey.
having an uprising.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a couple like in places deer got really aggressive or whatever. They were like, I mean, they were covering it like everything was like The Last of Us, where there was suddenly giraffes walking around in the city. But yeah, they definitely like animals got, they started to get high on their own supply.
Get
for
a little
good reason.
entitled, you know?
Yeah, which they should be. They
Take
can,
back what's theirs, really, is what was happening.
Yeah, it's like the orcas. They're just like, oh, we actually win against boats. We win that fight. So now everyone's in trouble. So over 30 posters. Also, they say posters. These are huge, like
Giant
plasticized banners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the monkey said, absolutely the fuck not. Which again begs the question, like, do they know? Are people hanging
Yeah.
these banners up and then giving the monkeys dirty looks so that they understand
Yeah.
that these are anti-monkey banners?
they were like
I would
they were
also-
like standees from the movies, from when like the new Minions movie is coming out. That's what the monkeys are going after.
Yeah, it's a cardboard stand of the Rock in Red One, and it's saying, "Please capture and move these monkeys to a different city."
I
will
guess
say,
they were trying to get the Thai Department of National Parks to come
okay.
Deal with them. But
Yeah,
again, like you said, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have the monkey festival and then be like, how dare you not come deal with our monkey problem?
they also. I feel like this might have been. They should look into if this is part of the problem. On the poster is a huge image of a extremely aggressive monkey. So like. Is this like a beating your chest in front of the gorillas at the zoo situation where they just think that's like a threat to life and limb? And yeah, also hanging banners. I think a standees would be better because hanging a banner, that's like built for a monkey to wreck it.
It's kind of like purpose made to swing from once you rip it down.
Yeah.
Kind of their main thing.
Yeah. It'd be like putting up banners saying like, please catch the Prince of Persia. You're done for. He loves those things.
Like, they love swinging. It's like, oh right, yeah.
Yeah. God.
I do think like part of what makes a monkey scary is that it is sort of close enough to a person that you feel like you should be able to reason with it, but you can't.
Yeah.
And that is
They don't-
frightening.
They're so close, that it's like, God, just get 3 words through to you.
Right.
To end everything.
Why must we solve this with violence? Why can't you talk to me? You're like, as Patty said, you're a little man. Why can't you talk to me?
I've had that thought like with dog a lot where it's like, I don't need to be able to converse. If I could get 3 words, if I could just get like no bathroom here, like through, it would save me so much time.
Life-changing.
You know?
Yeah.
Poop here, please. Done. That's all I need to get beamed through. You know? Message in a bottle. Just
poop
don't
here, please.
Eat cardboard.
My big thing with my cat is like I wish I could. Most of the time, it's fine that she doesn't speak English. Like that's all right. She doesn't need to know about the new Trump appointees. Like good for her. But I wish I could like explain to her when I have to do something that stresses her out. Like when I have to put her in her carrier. I wish I could just be like, "It's fine. You're fine. Like it's good. It's okay in there." But you can't.
Yeah, right. She wouldn't believe you anyway. She'd be like,
Yeah.
I know.
She's lying.
There's no way.
First time you ever speak to her, she's lying.
Well, it's like, when has going in the carrier ever led to anything bad? It never has. It's just led to another person. And then you get to go back in it and then you're home again. You're fine.
Sometimes I would like an explanation as well. That would be nice. We've talked about Iggy
From
having
Iggy?
some tummy Iggy having some tummy trouble, most likely because I watched her lick clean one of the wheels on my rolling chair, my office chair. That's one where I'd like to be like, what? Why?
You gotta stop rolling through beef jerky.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Beef jerky
beef
office
jerky
chair mat you have is really not a good idea.
Yeah, I have one of those like, you know, like pelt rugs, but it's untanned. So it's just, there's a lot of fresh meat on it. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, no good.
Mm-hmm. Well, number two.
Number two.
let's hope Iggy didn't understand that.
Oh, yeah. Well, she doesn't know. She's cooking up some diarrhea right now. She's pretty focused.
She's just, internally, she's stirring a big pot like a witch.
Yeah. She's cooking up a real nightmare of a poop to unleash later.
Office chair wheel dust is doing its magic. It's just like a little, witchcraft going on in there.
Just a big lick, like a giant, like a
lollipop,
comically large lollipop, and then just staring at me. And then I looked at the office wheel, and there was just one patch of it licked clean. And it's like, why? What? My whole week is going to be weird now. Why did you do that? Yeah. So, but number two, this story comes to us from Festive Catalan Poop Log. Check out last episode for our long discussion of the Caganeres and the Gollum Caganer.
I guess there's also like a log too. Like there is a separate thing that's
coming out. Yeah.
No, there's like a log that poops.
Oh,
what?
Interesting.
Yeah, Cagatillo. He's a Catalan log that poops candy at Christmas. His name is Cagatillo.
The people poop logs and the logs poop candy. What the hell is going on here?
The log is like a tree log. He's not like a Mr. Hanky. He's like a true lumber, but he poops out presents.
Okay.
So,
I kind of like this guy. Oh, I don't like this 3D one that I just found, but I like this guy.
Yeah, the 3D ones are never going to be good.
Yeah.
It's just some things that need to stay in 2 dimensions.
Check this shit out that I just dropped in there. It's very, very... very upsetting.
Oh, God. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine.
You wake up and this guy's just looking at you. What do you do? What happens next?
Yeah,
he's under your covers.
I don't like that, like...
Yeah, he's down by your feet.
Style. Yeah.
He looks like, what's going on down there? Ah!
It's a threat. It's a threat left by a Spanish Christmas family.
Oh, no, he's alive. He's alive.
He's
the
living.
Ghostbusters ghost blowjob scene, but then it's this guy. Look down.
I don't like that. So he's a log, and then he has 2 front arms, but no legs. So he looks like he's like dragging himself.
He just kind of drags himself. Yeah,
he's in agony. He looks like he's in agony.
Yeah,
he wants you to end it.
Somebody blew off his legs. They're just kind of kiting him around. Also, there's like what seems like a courtesy blanket draped over his back half, I guess, so that no one sees the presents come out.
A disgusting situation back there. No one should see.
Yeah,
these 2 kids are smiling while they beat this one to death. He's thanking them.
I think that's what it is. I think you beat it and then it poops out presents.
Is it like a piñata? But
it wants to die.
It's like a piñata, but it can
feel pain.
Right? Yeah. A piñata that's alive.
Hello, sharks. May I pitch to you?
The pinata that's
just
alive.
awful.
Pinata that feels pain. Our new invention.
Help! Someone help!
Imagine hitting a pinata and it just is like a thick sound. It's not. You're clearly not hollow. Just whap. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a pillowcase full of wet cement. That's the sound it makes when you hit it.
That's where I store my wet cement.
Yep.
It's better for side sleepers. No. Anyways, so yeah, this story comes to us from, once again, a top-notch name for sending us on tangents.
Yeah, thank you.
But this
every
is
week, a new
just,
fact about weird Spanish Christmas traditions.
Yeah, this is a story from Atlanta where there was an armed robbery suspect who was caught, made a huge miscalculation here. Two men suspected of an armed robbery, and one of them was hiding. He was discovered by an officer because of the cologne he was wearing. So he was, wearing... Not too many details here, and not even the name of the cologne, which I feel like is really necessary.
Yeah, that really bums me out that they didn't name the cologne.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be a good or a bad thing because on the one hand, obviously you don't want to be that stinky. On the other, that's probably like some price-effective cologne.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It smells great in here. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It might have smelled good. We don't know.
Yeah.
Generally,
I feel
too
like,
much cologne is not going to be a good cologne.
That's a
smell.
tough way to find out that you're wearing too much cologne. That's pretty. That's pretty high on the list of undesirable ways.
One
to
of the
find
worst
out.
ways to find out for sure.
You should have just hidden in a high school locker room, and they would be like, "Well, yeah, it smells like cologne in here,
Fuck.
of course."
We're never gonna find him in here.
Yeah, just police putting on some sort of like spectrogram goggles, and there's just a trail of Polo Blue in the air leading into like a trash can. Yeah, but I agree also, yeah, funny, but yeah, Kath, you're right. Like, it's like people wearing way too much cologne is usually not, I think, because if you buy expensive cologne, you're not laying that shit on thick because you're like, my God, I have to save every bit of this, every splash.
It is sort of a struggle, though, because it's like, because I like perfume and I like to wear it because I want people to think I smell good. But then A, it's expensive, and B, I don't want to be the person who's wearing too much. So I feel like I have too light of a hand, and then nobody smells it. And then I'm like, aw, kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. I mean, wearing it at all, I think, is, maybe that's just another prison of masculinity. I was like, I want everyone to wear, I have colognes, if I want to wear them and I want people to notice it and think it smells nice. But if one single person is like, are you wearing cologne? I'm going.
No,
home.
shut up.
Yeah, I'm immediately calling an Uber and I'm out. Yeah. So he was hiding in a crawl space and literally an officer could smell cologne in the air.
That's a lot.
That's tough stuff.
Maybe he was hiding in like maybe there was an AC vent or something that was like wafting it out into the place. But yeah, if you're smelling it from a crawl space, you're using too much.
Yeah, can't wear cologne if you're an operative. Can't be in the vents. Can't be
I guess one thing I also, crawl space is like right at nose height, right? Like generally, like
they're usually low, right?
I had crawl spaces in my basement growing up. There was one that was like kind of like head height. So the one I'm picturing is like there was like storage underneath. And then like a crawl space on top, kind of.
Well, okay, I know.
I'm thinking of like John
I've
Wayne
never
Gacy's.
Thought of this before, despite hearing the word crawl space many times in my life. What is that for? Besides crawling,
it's for crawling.
Why do you need to crawl?
It's just weird extra.
Around.
It's like weird extra space. I think, and that's like not. They couldn't find anything to do with. I guess
that's like the size of a crouched person. Because I'm imagining it's like a little hallway that you like scurry down, but that's not it. Right?
Some houses have a full like. They're elevated. It may have to do with something with keeping the house off the ground, elevation or water levels or something. But they're like a real ass crawl space is like, it's like probably like 2 feet tall, and there's a bunch. You can see like columns in it, and then it's really like nightmarish. I think
it serves.
Of course, people find bodies in there. Like that's what it's basically for. It's more of like a body space.
I think it also
body storage
provides some insulation from like moisture and stuff in the sense that there's like space in between. Maybe
I think I know it. Yeah, I think I'm understanding what you mean by.
But you better not be scurrying in there. I don't want to hear about that. That's no good.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
I think it does have to be on the ground. Like what you're describing, Patty, would be more of a climb space, I think, or because you got to get in there.
It's between the ground floor and the first floor, so it's like like if you have like a basement, and it's like a layer in between the basement and the floor of the ground floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I
I'd
had
like
a really
mine-
strange one. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe there was something going on.
Patty's
in there. I don't
childhood
know.
home is the House of Leaves. People don't know this about him.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if this is how it would work based on what their actual purpose is, but I feel like if I had a crawl space, I'd be like, how about you go ahead and fill that up? How about you go ahead
I
and
don't wanna-
blast some foam in there?
I don't want to think about stuff being in here. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's person sized? Great. If we could just plug that up, just seal it.
This is great.
Please.
You could hide out in here for days and no one would even know. You could like live in here.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it's
No,
person
thanks.
size, but only if you're being weird.
Yeah.
It can only hold
That's the
guys
thing.
if
If you're crawling around, I don't want anybody crawling around in there. Crawl
I don't
space?
need
That's
you
creepy.
Crawling in my house as an adult.
Get out of
person.
my
Yeah,
house.
Get out of here.
Hey,
not
we
a
made your
baby.
house. And under it, we made a house for camel crickets, just for huge crickets to live. Yeah. But no, I'm trying to think. The other thing, crawl space is just like, it's like, here's where your pet is going to go if they're sick.
Yeah.
more of
Here's where your sick animal is going to go to die in solace, like die in solitude. You know. Mm-hmm. No thanks.
Yeah, so this guy's in a good place to hide if you're not coloned up like crazy. Yeah,
You can't,
But
if
I
you're
do
going to
love
do
the vents.
crimes, it's not the time for a signature scent. That's not when you want people to be able to identify you by smell. Not
It is
good.
funny because
Remember this
Yeah,
smell.
unless it was a crime of opportunity. Yeah, dashing away. This is my scent, my signature scent. Unless it's a crime of opportunity, it does suggest that you put on cologne in preparation. Where you're like, hold on. let me
He's like,
spritz.
we need like a gentleman criminals. We need to go back to those days and just hit it a little too hard with the cologne.
Maybe he
Matt
was
Bomer
trying
from
to
White
do
Collar,
the like
definitely wearing some cologne.
maybe he was trying to do the thing where like a bank robber will like they won't wear a disguise but they'll wear something really distracting so you like won't look at their face or whatever. Maybe he was trying to do that but with smell.
So he's
It's
just
like I'll wash it off and people won't remember anything about me.
What is that?
Well, he looks just like him, but he doesn't smell like him. So maybe drug dogs. You switch colognes. While you go through a river, you walk through a river and switch colognes while you do it, and then the dogs are off.
No
your
one can
trail.
ID me because their eyes are watering too much. He's wearing
Yeah.
extra Abercrombie Fierce. It's just taking out anybody who's nearby.
Throwing on eau de red herring and heading off into
See, that's
the
just
sunset.
smart.
Yeah, that's good. It's good stuff. But he was captured. Unfortunate for him, don't commit armed robbery, I suppose, in the first place. But if you're going to do it,
I wonder if you can wear cologne in prison. Probably not, right?
You'd have to get cologne in prison. I don't know if that's worth the
Is it allowed? That's what I'm wondering. Probably it has alcohol in it, so maybe not. Maybe that would be the reason.
It also comes in glass, so I feel like they would
yeah,
have
that's a
to.
problem.
You'd have to put it in a different bottle. Also, I feel like most people in prison are not like, I want to make myself like more attractive.
I bet it's
Maybe.
a stinky place though. So having
Probably.
cologne would be nice because it's a little. If I were in prison, I'd be like, "Can I burn a little incense in here?" And they'd be
No,
like, "Absolutely not."
Spray cologne like on your like mustache area, so you just that you know what I mean. It's like so you
Smelling
just smell
salts.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Like
all
when
you
they put
smell.
the Vicks Vapor Rub when you're looking at a
Correct.
corpse or whatever.
Correct.
Silence of the
Yes,
Lambs
yes,
style.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, you can't have that one that looks like a grenade for sure. Just getting put in full lockdown because someone tried to bring spice bomb. Like
It looks like a grenade. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I think
That's
you're right.
cool.
Yeah.
Like a
That's
grenade.
that's cool. That's like for guys.
Right. That's like if someone says,
think
"Are you
it's
wearing
actually for
cologne?" and you
women, which is
say,
even weirder.
they ask if you're wearing cologne, and you're like, "Well, yeah, but it came out of a grenade, so it's cool."
Yeah. It's F1. Ode to F1. This guy got caught. Jeers to his application of cologne as well as his choice to commit violent crime.
Absolutely. Number one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this week's number one reason to say what a time to be alive.
This story is also from Patty You're Scaring the Hose. Very rude display name. Disrespectful. Patty's
Get him
outta
here.
Reassuring the hose.
Patty is calming the hose.
Placating the hose.
Yeah.
Like a horse, like petting a horse.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You're okay. Yeah.
You know who was scaring the hose? The subject of our next story. A
Freddy
humpback
Krueger.
whale. Freddy Krueger.
Freddy
known
Krueger's in the news.
Hose
Yeah.
scare.
You know who's scaring those? Leatherface. What's his name? Is that the guy?
Yeah, Leatherface. He's probably
I was
scaring
getting
the hose.
confused with Leatherhead. The
Leatherface is back in the news.
The crocodile from Ninja Turtles. Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Texas Chainsaw
also
Massacre.
scaring the hose.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre when all those people get killed by Leatherhead.
He's like a Cajun. He's like a Cajun alligator.
Yeah. He jumps around.
Anyway, this story is about a male humpback whale who was scaring the hose because this is a real, it's kind of a mixed blessing for this humpback whale. I feel like if I were him, I would have a lot of mixed emotions about this. Because he has broken the distance record for humpback whales. He swam over 8,000 miles from the Pacific to the Indian Ocean, essentially around the world, which he is the first humpback whale who has ever been tracked to do this. But they think he did it looking for sex. So pluses and minuses there.
This is down
Historically
bad.
Yeah,
Down-
down historically bad.
World historically bad. This is a record. So, but the
College
cool
freshman
thing-
trying to get into a party, like wandering around, getting
Yeah.
shut down repeatedly.
This whale's DM's horrible. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
The cool thing about it though is it's not like he was searching and didn't find. It seems like he was on some kind of, wild road trip. He was like
Yeah.
going from town to town, just laying waste to various humpback whale populations. Yeah, so it says
Yeah,
the whale
which changes the energy of the whole thing. If they're like, he's had sex while he's on this trip. He's like, well, now he's a damn
Now he's cool.
Euro trip. Yeah.
He's doing a Euro trip. They're all like they think his accent is really cool. He's very like sexy and mysterious and intriguing. So yeah, they think he swam eastward from Colombia, riding on prevailing currents in the Southern Ocean, potentially visiting humpback whale populations in the Atlantic, and then going all around. So he did it.
Kath, could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do we have a name for the study co-author about this?
I don't see it. Do you have is it good?
Yeah, who was potentially visiting humpback whale populations in the Atlantic Ocean. Said study
Ted
co-author.
Cheeseman?
Yeah, Ted Cheeseman.
Ted
This
the
is
Cheese
on-
Man.
The Cheese Man speaks on the whales.
The Stinky Cheese Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the director of Happy Whale. If someone was like, I'm Ted Cheeseman, the director of Happy Whale, I'd be like, all of that is fake. None of that is
Yeah.
actual.
Yeah.
Stop lying to me.
Man, it's very. I think Patty and I are both watching a show where at one point someone just gives their a fake name and it's Kent Brockman, and then the person they give it to Googles Kent Brockman and it pops up as like Simpsons character, and I was like, what a incredible way to tie this into our universe. I've never felt more included in a show's world than someone just panicking and saying their name is Kent Brockman.
Hey, that's Simpsons. Hey, that's Simpsons. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah. So this guy did it by 2,000 miles. He beat the record by 2,000 miles, which is like, a quarter of how long he swam.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was
Damn.
motivated.
Coulda let him
This
know.
guy needs to go to like some like Sex Addicts Anonymous or something. He's got you're going 8,000 miles to get some. You got an issue
score?
now. To score.
Walking into a church basement and it's filled with a humpback whale.
Yeah.
Just demolishing the coffee.
Filled with a single humpback whale. Filled.
Do you want to share?
Beaching himself on a nude beach.
He needs help.
I know it's probably mostly. I don't care. It's fine.
beaching himself onto one of those beaches where there's a bunch of surfboards stuck vertically in the sand and people doing that weird bikini dance where they just kind of shake their arms
Yeah,
above
where's
their
that
head.
beach? I want to go to that beach.
Yeah. What's that dance? What are you guys doing?
Put a little
not a very
picnic
sexy
blanket out
dance.
and do that little gyrating thing. I want that.
This
I
Why
wanna
do
go
you
to
guys all
that
look like
beach.
you're shimmying along a zip line? What's this dance you're doing?
You got to do it around. It's something about the surfboards in the sand make you want to do it.
Yeah.
That's the
New addition to a possible, future wedding playlist. Any song that's going to make everybody do the vertical surfboard beach dance all together. Yeah.
we got to bring it back. Mm-hmm. The motivation for the journey was probably sex, with the male in question increasing his chances of reproducing by mingling with members of another breeding population. Other reasons, possible other reasons could be searching for food, climate change, or more competition, because there are apparently more humpback whales than there used to be. So that, I guess, is good. That's positive, I suppose.
I feel like at this point, climate change is complicit in everything.
Yeah, you just gotta be like, it's probably because of this. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything. Why is the price of eggs up? Why are whales traveling the world?
That's why there are sharks in Cape Cod now. You can't swim anymore because it's
why
full
are
of fucking
graphics
sharks.
cards expensive? It's climate change.
Climate
Because
change.
the world is dying a little bit.
Why does my
And
leg
then-
hurt?
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
would it hurt less if it were colder out? Maybe. You don't know.
Yeah, atmospheric pressure is changing because of climate change. Maybe so.
Sure, sounds right.
Yeah, why not? Fair enough.
Well, yeah, congrats
Can't
to
get
this
into the
whale.
club.
I wish they had named him. They didn't name him. Sort of bums
Fuck
me out.
whale.
The fuck whale.
They named him Fuck Whale 5000.
I don't know. I feel like if you're tracking him, you should at least give him a little name for shorthand, right?
Yeah.
They named him Casanova meanly.
Yeah.
Meanly.
Pepe Le Whale.
Yeah, I mean, unconfirmed whether he actually got some or not, but
His name is
hopefully.
Pepe Le Whale. And then there's other normal whales that got, they fell into some cement that was hardening on the road, which formed a hump on their back. And now he's in love with them because he thinks they're a humpback whale.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I'm cooking this up. I'm cooking. Let him cook.
I'm looking at this. Humpback whales don't really have a hump on their back, as far as I can tell. They're
yeah,
pretty
I think
smooth.
It's figurative, figurative humpback.
What's that mean?
I mean, this
He's
guy's
humping.
backs.
This guy's humping.
Yeah, he's earned it.
I don't know if they. I feel like they don't hump. You can't hump if you're just free floating in the water. It's not. It just seems really difficult.
Humpback whale. Why they called that? That's why I'm Googling that.
Humpback whale. Why called?
Hey, Jeeves. Why they called that?
Why they called that?
HeyJeeves.com.
There is a hump. It looks kind of like a little fin, I guess. I guess that's the distinctive hump.
Oh,
That
okay.
is-
I would
is
call
the
that
name.
a finback whale, but I guess that was already taken.
Not very distinctive, guys. Not everyone's a fucking whale scientist that can spot these things, okay?
Yeah, let's be honest. A lot of whales not very distinctive. They're all whales to me.
Ooh, if you see here, there's a minuscule little difference, and as a result, we're relying on that to call it the. It's like, okay, well, you
I
got
can't
it.
see that shit. They're
Professor.
underwater,
We're
dude.
calling this guy Quagmire because he's horny.
Yeah, Quagmire the whale.
How do you guys feel about a whale watch? You been on a whale watch?
Every time I go to Massachusetts, we don't do it. I would like to do it. I want to see it. I like
Seems
I
nice.
like when things are big. I want to see it.
I fucking love a whale watch. I joked about that about your wedding, Patty, that I was going to miss it because I wanted to go on a whale watch.
Yeah.
I was like really tempted to try to get to Gloucester early and go on a whale watch. I love them. They're so fun.
I think like we mentioned once when I was saying that I wanted to know if you get your money back if you don't see a whale.
I think
feel
some
that
of them you
should.
do. I think some of them
Yeah.
you do.
Or
I
there's
don't
no
think I've
whales.
ever been on one where I haven't seen a whale.
Couldn't even rustle one up.
Yeah,
I brought my
Send something
son.
down there.
My
It
son
depe-
is here.
Sometimes sometimes you just see one from like kind of far away, but like a lot of
Yeah,
times they
half
come
my way
right
back.
up to the boat.
Like, I'll pay half.
I'll pay
Also-
at the end. Half now,
Yeah,
half
half now,
now,
half
when I
later.
see the whale.
I think my boss was telling me, she wrote this story about this one time she was on a whale watch, and they saw a whale, and like the like scientist or whoever was telling them about the whale, and one of the women on the whale watch asked the scientist, "Does the whale know who I am?"
Yeah.
I think about all the time.
If you're the kind of person that asks that, maybe.
I think she meant, like, does the whale know where, like, what people are? But she said, does the whale know who I am? And now I think
She
about
goes
that
every
all the
week.
time.
So she's like, maybe he
Does he know me?
recognizes
Does he know me? Does he know my name?
What does he know about me? I don't know. What?
What does he know?
Does the whale know who I am? Yeah.
Who's the whale working for? That's what I'd like to know. Also, another here. Two good names in this story. We got Ted the Cheeseman.
Cheeseman.
And another study lead author, Ekaterina Kalashnikova. So we've got
Sick.
Ted Cheeseman and the AK-47 lady are on the case.
Teaming up to research whales fucking. Love it. Mm-hmm. Should we do plugs?
Plugs.
Y'all ready for this? Find our Patreon bonus episodes, merch, Discord, and more at whatatimepod.com. And follow us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at whatatimepod. Check out Cap's other podcast, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters. Theme song by Naughty Professor. Thanks for listening, and best of luck.
Eli, plug. Your plug.
Replug.
Plug again. I don't have any.
Yeah. Come to either Sick Ass Panther on January 11th at Red Baron Inc. in Manhattan. We got Kevin Casey White. We got Brittany Carney. We got Courtney McGinnis. We got Steve Malden. And we got me practicing a bunch of stuff for my special to make sure I remember it. And then my special, January 24th, shows at 7:30 and 9:30. You can get tickets to both my Instagram, Chili's Restaurants, and the links. And if you buy tickets to one, you can have a free ticket to the other. Just let me know.
I lied. I did think of something to plug. If you're not tired of listening to me talk, I am on today's episode of Billionaires Are Good, where we talked about how much we love Charles Koch. That's Dave Ross and Caleb Sonata. It's a very funny podcast. Check it out. Billionaires Are Good. We love them. They're good for the world.
I'll promote a book that I saw an ad for called What the Wife Knew by Darby Kane. Best-selling author of Pretty Little Wife. That's What the Wife Knew.
What the wife knew.
Add it
Check
to
it
the
Beyond
podcast required reading list.
Yeah.
Beyond
Poisoner's Enemy.
And what the wife knew.
Beyond
What
parody.
the wife knew.
The tiny things we know to be small. I forget who did that post, but it's truly one of those.
Is that
Really-
Amelia
Yep.
Elizalde?
Yes, it was. I couldn't think. I couldn't think of who it was.
We're building up a reading list.
And this says up here,
Poisoner's
also
Enemy.
on the cover, it says, "Who murdered the husband she planned to kill? What the wife knew." A novel. So it sounds. Look, I can't wait to see what happens. What the wife knew or didn't know.
Yeah.
You're like AI writing doesn't sound like human writing, and then you're like, sounds like some human writing, maybe.
Maybe
Sounds like
look,
this book.
For all I know, they're thrilling books. It was like this is like making fun. It feels like it's making fun of something, but it's apparently it does not seem to be. So you know.
I looked up that tweet and so it's Amelia Elizalde and it says every book is called The Tiny Things We Know to Be Small or The Darkest Wife. And then someone quote tweeted it and wrote, every young adult book is called A Bone of Bone and Bone. It's really, really funny.
She also
Shout
has a
out
tweet
Sarah Alfagi who wrote that, wrote A Bone of Bone and Bone.
She also has a really funny tweet I think about a lot. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's like, boyfriends get so mad when they reach under the seat and cut themselves on your car knife.
Look.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta.
We have to
you know.
go.
Yes. Goodbye.
Yes.